That Car Guy Tim. Welcome to another Epi. Today we're in the East Kootenay region of British Columbia, where there's not a lot of snow on the valley floor so far this winter. In search of some powder to play in, the boys and I are heading up a 4B spot in the Purcell Range a half hour south of Kimberley called Perry Creek. Now, the East Kootenay is famous for some of the best tracks in southern BC, and with the tires aired down, it's time to have some fun in the snow. With testing complete and our furry friends ready to go, it's time to make tracks and head up the first part of our track. Now, I'm pretty new to the game, but it's Evan's first time wheeling with us, and we're throwing him off the deep end. Okay, guys, so here's the situation right now. We came to play in this beautiful little area of snow, and Evan's Jeep doesn't have lockers, and he didn't air down quite enough for his vehicle. So now the situation is we are airing him down, and we're going to hopefully get him unstuck that way. If not, we got the recovery gear. We're all prepared. That's the thing you want to make sure when you go in the bush. You want to make sure you are prepared for anything. Because, hey, you know what? Anything can happen. And this is just all part of the fun. With a blast of Val's air horn for encouragement, Evan freed his Grand Cherokee. Now it's time to play in the powder. With promise of more powder, it was time to carry on, and soon the well-packed part of the trail was history. Wasn't long before we had our first mechanical issue of the day.
Why no start?
Because it's a Jeep. Just expect every problem. And then just empty every pocket.
That's why it died. Just heat soaked.
Said it's wet with oil leaking.
Yeah, mine does that sometimes when it's wet around the injector, it just fucking shuts off.
No, it's not wet at all.
All right, so we are up Perry Creek a little bit. It's starting to snow a bit. That's what's coming there. Beautiful spot up here. The dogs are having a ball, snowball in fact. And eventually, Mark's Jeep decided to cooperate again. We didn't get far before it was my turn to get bogged.
These ditches are a little bit sucky.
The tail end of my Frontier was sliding out of line and towards the steep drop-off.
Are you stuck up there or what?
Well, I succeeded in getting stuck.
Yeah, that should be good. Put it in 4 long, then maybe, I don't know, first or second year, and then just go.
After a few tries, I gave her the berries and made it up with some legendary guiding from Val. Up ahead, though, it wasn't all good news.
I am completely buried.
So we're in some really deep snow right now. I'm about 5'7", and this stuff is up to my knees. But looks like everybody but me is stuck. I was smart. I called on the radio and said, hey, are we going any further? They said no. Once everyone was free, we were on the move again. Or so we thought.
I think I found dirt.
Having fun?
Oh yeah.
This is one heck of a situation. Not only do we have the Toyota stuck, but now we have the Grand Cherokee stuck. And they don't have anything better to mount it onto the Toyota with. So we're just using the ball hitch on the Toyota, which isn't the best. It's kind of sketchy as, but let's see how many vehicles it takes to pull out a Toyota.
Yeah, man.
All right.
Fucking Jeeps.
Just when we thought we had it sorted.
Oh no.
Oh!
I'll go around and hook up. Stay hooked up on this Toyota.
And sure enough.
If I get stuck, should we turn around?
What were you saying?
It just overheated again.
Oh, fun.
Cut! Jeep for sale.
What? Is it broken again?
Yep.
After some time discussing Jeep things,
What were you filling up with the washer fluid? Or your reservoir's up here or something?
Mine's from 95, yeah.
Mark's Jeep fired up once more.
We'll break down tire.
I want to break down way down there. We're gonna go break down now, down the hill now.
Okay.
We're heading down to a little trail a little bit further down that hopefully everybody can get through without too many issues. But for now, we're just enjoying this beautiful Kootenai scenery. It's gorgeous up here. Not long, and Mark had us pulling off on a side trail. But as per the norm this trip, someone's gotta get stuck.
That's deeper than I thought.
I think you're fucked, man. Yeah, you're on ice.
Out came the kinetic strap, and out came the Yoda. The further Mark took us down this narrow trail, the thicker it got. But hey, wheeling in the woods, how good is this? Time to get our toes wet. A simple little crossing, a piece of cake. That one was a drop in the bucket compared to the crossing further up the trail. We're just kind of doing a little tire depth test here, see if he wants to go through it or not. But it looks, there's a lot of discussion happening regarding this one, so I don't know if he's going to do it or not. The Jeepers took the first plunge. Val and Mark giving a taste of what their rigs could do. expedition tried it. Second go around. You got her, bud. What a view! Woo-hoo-hoo! What an awesome adventure that was. Thanks to Val and Mark for organizing that one. Man, was that fun! Hey, if you want to see more of that, make sure you click subscribe and ring that bell, and also check out the Facebook and Instagram. We're going to be doing weekly uploads of car content, off-road content. It's got an engine and 4 wheels. It's going to be on this channel. So make sure you stay tuned with what's happening on all the different social media channels I'm setting up for this. Thanks so much for tuning in. If you love it, click subscribe, hit that like button, and make sure you share it with your friends. Now, obviously, it's dark out, and the last shot we cut from was daylight. The whole reason for that is because I was editing and I was kind of, listening in the background to some of the coverage of the Australian bushfires. And one of the shows that I watch a lot on YouTube is Australia's 4-Wheel Drive Action. That stars Graham Cahill and Sean Whale in Australia. And they're part of the reason I got into off-roading and overlanding and all that. They're pretty much a lot of the stuff I know came from them. And they posted a video on YouTube recently, expressing how the 4-wheel drive community can help. And I thought that was just awesome. Unless you've been living under a rock, you're probably well aware of what's happening in Australia right now. They're having the worst bushfire season in living memory, if not on record. Just to give you a little bit of context, I did some math here, and I wrote some notes here, I make sure I have all my facts straight for you. Let's see here. If you're Canadian, Australia's been there for us in the past, and it's time for us to return the favor. Just to give you an idea of just how vast these bushfires are, how much has been burned, Nova Scotia and Prince Edward Island put together, they're almost 61,000 square kilometers. So far, as of recording this, over 63,000 square kilometers have been burned in Australia. That's larger than Nova Scotia and PEI put together. That is devastating. Fort McMurray, 2016, that was only 590,000 hectares. We're not even getting into square kilometers. 590,000 hectares. It was a devastating fire, don't get me wrong, but the Australian bushfires, it's just massive. It's massive. And to give you an idea of just how big Australia is, west coast to east coast, Australia, it fits right over top of a map of the United States. Like, this is just nuts. At least 24 people have lost their lives. Nearly 2,000 structures have been destroyed. Ecologists at Sydney University, they're pegging estimates of over 1 billion animals have been affected in some way. They're estimating 500,000 animals have died because of this fire. They're worried that some species that were at risk in Australia, because remember, Australia is a very unique biodiverse country. They're worried that some species, because of these fires, may have just gone extinct. So it's massive. Words just can't quite describe just how devastating these fires are. I love off-roading, I love cars, but you know what? I love animals too. And it's all about, respect for nature and all that. As far as what we can do as an off-roading community, as automotive enthusiasts, let's band together. Let's show the world what Canada, what North America, what the automotive enthusiast collective is capable of. In Four-Wheel Drive Action's video, Sean said they've set up some resources. Now, feel free to donate to this however you can. If you want to donate articles of things they need, if you have some expertise that you can donate, if you have whatever you can do to help, please do. And if you can spare some money, I know in some parts of Canada right now, money's tight. And I'm, especially in Western Canada, money is tight. So if you can spare even $5, if we all give $5, that goes a very, very long way. Even just $5, that's less than a meal at McDonald's. So if you can spare a trip to McDonald's or Tim Hortons for, even just one trip, and use that money, put it towards Australia's plight, please do so. As I was saying, they've got two charities that they've gone through in Australia. They've gone through and chosen two charities that you can donate to directly through their website, snatchclothing.com.au/donate. One charity is called FRRR. It's Foundation of Rural and Regional Renewal. Now, this is a really interesting fact. Less than 10% of what they raise actually goes to running this organization, this charity, which is awesome, because that just means that more of your money that you give actually goes to helping the people that it's intended to help. So what FRRR does is these guys go right in after the fire. They help the community kind of rebuild and get as close back to normal as possible. They provide funding for infrastructure, they give money to schools to help fund kids getting their uniforms, just basics like that, and some of the larger scope things too, and things that really make up a community halls, you name it. FRRR, they go in there and they help try and reestablish the norm in these communities, and that's going to be so important after these bushfires, and the process is already starting. So if you can give to them, please do. Another one, if you're wildlife conscious, of course, there's the Australia Zoo, but there's also an organization called WIRES. That is the Wildlife Info, Rescue and Education Services in Australia. It's the largest wildlife rescue organization in Australia. I believe they're based in New South Wales. It's one of the hardest states hit by these wildfires. Victoria and NSW, they're hit really hard. So they're based in one of the hardest hit states in Australia. WIRES, they also support the smaller rescue organizations too. So they're a large organization that's going to go in and help these animals. They're going to help people, understand how they can help the animals, and help, when they rebuild, how can they rebuild in a way that's going to encourage wildlife rehabilitation and wildlife reestablishment in their area. They also support the smaller rescue organizations too, which is awesome. So you have a big organization that's doing their work, and they're also supporting the small guys too, because every hand that pitches in is going to be needed in Australia. So again, if you want to donate to those two, you can find more information on snatchclothing.com.au/donate. There's going to be a link below to that. And if you're Canadian or American, like I said before, there are ways to donate with our respective charities as well, that are going to send those resources directly to Australia. So do your research, donate to who you'd like, but those are just some ideas that I've found. WIRES and FRRR in Australia. Again, that website is snatchclothing.com.au/donate, and in the description below I'll link some Canadian charities that have pledged to help Australia as well. Big shout out to all the firefighters and all the wildfire experts from Canada that are down in Australia right now helping out. Like I said before, Australia's been there for us so many times, And, you know, this is just us returning the favor. We're Commonwealth countries. We're buddies. You know, it's what buddies do. Buddies help buddies, especially in off-roading and especially in times of need. So if you've had a buddy snatch you out of a tight spot while you're off-roading, just think of you helping snatch Australia out of a tight spot. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Make sure you click subscribe. Again, links to help in the description below. Feel free to please donate as much as you can to help Australia in their time of need. And we'll see you next week. Have fun. Get her done.